Bonjour and welcome back to my channel. My name is Claude and today, Aries, I'm going to be doing your ancestors' messages for the month. So I hope you're doing well. Now please do bear in mind those are general readings. I'm going to be channeling the messages of many different ancestors, so they cannot resonate with all of you. So just take what resonates and drop the rest. So what do my Aries Aquarians need to hear from their ancestors? Show me, please. So your first message is card 31, solitude, alone but not lonely. So 31 diminishes to number 4, which is the number of strong foundation and stability. And your ancestors here are telling you that you may be in a period where you feel not surrounded, not supported, or you may feel disconnected simply, from people in the world, just generally, it does happen. But they're telling you to not feel lonely because they're here. They're here around you, they're here to support you, and they're asking you to remember this. You are never truly alone because they're here, which I think is a beautiful, warm message. Your second message is Furgon. That's card 10. Become a loving mirror. Now 10 is the number of completion, the end of a cycle. And if you look very closely to the artwork on this card, you can see there is a dark silhouette in the mirror. And it is where the heart is. And so for some of you, you may be at the receiving end of some nasty behavior, and they're asking you to get in touch with your heart and not judge whoever's doing that and not react. And if you're going to react from your heart space rather than lashing out or doing tit for tat and entering in that kind of catch-22 situation where you hurt me, I hurt you, you hurt me, I hurt you, that kind of thing. They're just asking you to get in touch with your heart space and just reflect love. Don't antagonize, don't take part in this kind of cycle. It's very toxic. It's not good for you. And then your third message is Yunola. That's card number 8. And it says everything in perfect balance. So this is the number of advancement. And I'm really getting the message that at the moment things are out of balance for you. You have a message of you're not alone, we're here with you. You have the message of do not respond negatively to people who are being obnoxious, mean or whatever. Just try and respond with love. And then everything in perfect balance. So there's also thorns on this card. I'm really getting the vibes of that you're going through a period that's not very pleasant, and your ancestors are acknowledging this, but they're telling you really that they're there to support you and not to react in a negative way, even though you may get very triggered, and just try and keep things in balance, just generally speaking. Let's see what the Tower has to say about this. So no excesses is what I'm hearing. There is something to be said about the power of responding from the heart space when people try to trigger you. If you respond in love, they don't know what to do generally. People don't know what to make of this, and they stop being obnoxious when you do. And I really think that's the advice your ancestors are giving you here. Do not engage in this kind of dialogue with people, hurtful, pain. Don't engage in that. You're above this, is what I'm hearing. This is below you. Don't do that. Beneath you, sorry. That's what I'm hearing. Then again, you have free will. Obviously, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing in the cards. That I'm reading energies. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands, You see, I told you about completion. This card here, number 10, completion. 10 of Wands. Then you have the King of Cups. And again, it's a cup energy under the loving mirror. I'm not surprised to see this. And the Three of Swords. Let's talk about this. Okay, so you have the 10 of Wands. Now 10 is completion, the end of a cycle, and the Wands is the suit of passions and desires. This represents what your heart and soul truly desire. And the 10 of Wands talks about having given 200% of yourself and having, you know, along the way when you do something passionately, when you chase something like that and work for it, you accumulate some wounds and cuts and bruises, and at the end it becomes a burden and you want to drop it. Well, this is what this is. This is really drop it. If you've been fighting for something, whether it is at work, whether it is at home, whether we're talking relationships or whatever, whether you are embroiled in some kind of problem with a specific individual, which is what I'm getting for some of you, this is your ancestors telling you just drop the burden, walk away from this, it's not worth it. That's what I'm hearing so loud and clear. And I was unsurprised to see the King of Cups appearing right under the Become a Loving Mirror, because the King is the master of the suit, and Cups is emotions, your feelings, what makes you happy, unhappy. It's also intuition and creativity, but really it's the emotional realm, it's water energy. And the King has mastered the suit, so this is someone who's in control of their emotions, someone who's not going to lose it, basically. Someone who is also loving, who's very much in touch with their heart space and know how to react and what to say and when. And obviously under the Becoming a Loving Mirror, this is saying, you know, get in touch, as I said, with the picture here. Let me grab it for you again. This is really get in touch with your heart space. You see your fingers going inside, and respond as the King of Cups would respond to this. So if someone is mean, someone is being confrontational, someone is slandering you behind your back or whatever, do not stoop to their level. Response from the heart space. Give you an example. You may look at those people and just think, you know, they're hateful, they hate me, blah blah blah, or why they're so mean to me. Just imagine that their lives is probably darker than yours, and that something bad must be happening to them for them to be so negative towards someone else. This is how the King of Cups would look at it. He would get into his heart space and think, oh, I feel the pain of this individual, this is someone who's suffering, that's why they're acting out like that. That's just an example I'm giving you, but that's the energy and the message I'm getting from this very strongly. And then under the everything in perfect balance, you have the Three of Swords. Now the 3 is the number of growth, creation, expansion. And swords is the mental realm. That's why the swords are piercing his head. So mental realm is your knowledge, your thoughts, your ideas. It really is about thinking out of the box. It's a card of breakthrough by thinking out of the box. It's not a card of heartache, okay? It's not a cup card. I don't read it like that. The 5 of Cups is heartache. The 3 of Swords is the breakthrough, a mental breakthrough, something that enables you to move forward. Really looking at things differently, thinking of things differently, and it's going to make you move forward and keep things into perfect balance. So what other messages do we have for my Aries Aquarians, please? You see, I'm getting the message, I have to say it, that 3 of Swords is the breakthrough that's going to break you free of those thorns that the card has here. Do you see the thorns on her head and on the sides there? That 3 of Swords card is what's going to free you up from that and put things back into balance. Oh, okay, that just, as I'm talking about balance, you have a card that just jumped. Extremes. This is your ancestors telling you not to act in extremes, not to feel in an extreme way. This is really a card of, you know, 34 diminishes to 7, experience, self-evaluation. Extremes are never good, okay? You need to be very aware of this energy. This is your ancestors saying to you, everything in perfect balance. Be careful of thinking extremely or feeling extremely, of lashing out is another word I'm hearing. This is, you know, a piece of advice. This is a jumper, so I'll put it here. This was just additional message here. Alright. So we have 29, hunger. You see, I'm really getting this energy of someone is creating a problem for you, and you really want justice to be served, is what I'm hearing. This is really you know, wanting to move things forwards, to get out of this, to drop your burden and be done with it. It's that's driving you. You really want this to happen. And your ancestors are telling you it will happen if you keep things into balance, if you think out of the box and you react from your heart space. Avoid extremes. And you also have pleasure. So the card of pleasure, 18, diminishes to number 9, achievement. And look at how open she is. And all the butterflies, you know, the transformation energy. This will come for you. You will get out of this stinky energy and, you know, darkness that's kind of over you at the moment, and you will have pleasure in your life. It will come, but you do have to be aware of extremes of reacting from impulsively, is what I'm hearing. Final message please for my Aries clearance. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. 50 is number 5, which is number of changes. You see, when you move away from this problem here and you drop your burden by responding from your heart space, you're going to give them something they can't respond to. And you're going to be able to move forward. You're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to find out what you need to do to get out of this. And then you're going to have the pleasure, the movement towards adventure. This is going to be a brand new turn on your path, is what I'm hearing, because 5 is changes. And it really is, if you look at the imagery on the 2 cards, both of the females, they are opened with their arms wide open, ready to receive. They're not defensive. Such a difference from your opening card of feeling lonely and protecting. You see how this is a protective stance. And you end the reading with pleasure, movement towards adventure. So this is your ancestors telling you to be open to any kind of opportunities that's presenting themselves to you, any kind of offer. Even if you don't feel like you really want to, they are saying to you, and obviously I'll never presume to tell you how to lead your life, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm hearing in my head. They're telling you to jump on the opportunity, move towards something that feels adventurous, that doesn't feel like what you normally would do, and you're going to experience a lot of pleasure. And this card of hunger can also represent your subconscious, being hungry for things to change and really wanting to try something new, something out of your comfort zone. But be aware of extremes, as I said over there. Just be aware of that. So I hope you've enjoyed your journey for the cards with me. If you did, or if the message helped you in any ways, do let me know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I wish you a beautiful month, and I hope to see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.